like Irene, smaller than Irene Snyder kind of thing.
We're
So
gonna,
like,
we're gonna adjust it.
like that'd be right in our face maybe. But yeah, once she gets there, we'll adjust.
Hey, can you hear me? Do you hear that? All right, cool. Then I am all connected.
Mic check testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check testing. Can you hear me? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was trying to tell you. They're parked in the car. They're parked in the car. Yeah.
check, or is everybody good?
Just a little bit more.
No, absolutely. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure everything's tucked in here.
Right.
This is Officer Tiffany Galula. The last name is spelled N-G-A-L-A.
L-U-L-A.
Excuse me. N-G-A-L-U-L-A.
Okay, is everybody ready? Okay. Thank you everybody for coming again this evening. This is the update that we have from earlier today. I'll start with the lockdown has been lifted. Again, the lockdown has been lifted. All of the secondary searches have been concluded. We still have detectives and other Valley agencies out here still conducting the investigation. So just after 2:40 p.m. this afternoon, the Glendale Police Department received reports that a young child had been shot at the Tanger Outlets at 95th Avenue in Glendale. The first officers arrived, treated that young child. They did life-saving CPR along with other medical treatment before the child could be evacuated to the fire department. We were able to identify a little bit of what occurred here today. There was a young adult male who was with that small child and an adult female. He was armed with a handgun. He got into an altercation with a group of young males known to him. A shooting occurred between that group of young males and himself. The young adult male, the adult female, and the small child were all transported to local Valley hospitals with injuries. None of them are life-threatening at this time. 2 juvenile males that were in the second group arrived at local Valley hospitals with gunshot wounds as well. It is still under investigation what actually occurred, who are victims here, who the shooters were from the second group. No suspects are believed to be outstanding at this time. We believe to have everyone accounted for. We do not know of any persons that were not involved that sustained any injuries. We want to thank all of the West Valley agencies, the Phoenix Police Department, the Department of Public Safety for coming out here, for the tactical response, for helping us to do both primary and secondary searches to ensure that the community and everyone that was out here in the shopping area, the entertainment district, was safe, and to ensure that there were no additional victims. Again, the lockdown was lifted. We believe that all parties who were not directly involved have already returned or been allowed to leave. Only those that were directly involved or direct witnesses are still out here.
With the 2 groups, again, if you can mention if they knew each other, how they might have known each other, what the argument was?
That is all still under investigation, unfortunately, and we are unable to identify ages at this time, but I can tell you that the young adult male that was with the adult female and the small child were one group, and the 2 juveniles that showed up at the hospital later were part of the second group. There was a shooter in both groups.
So the 2 juveniles also had injuries?
Yes.
So 5 total.
That's correct. 5 total were injured. 2 young juvenile males showed up at the hospital later, and 1 small child.
Did they fight themselves?
I don't have that information.
Expand as to why there's a crime scene at St. Joseph's down the street at that hospital. There's caution tape. I don't even know who's at St. Joseph's, so I couldn't respond to that. I don't have that information. I apologize.
Was there any kind of pursuit for anyone?
I'm sorry?
Was there any kind of pursuit for
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Was it clear which of the 2 groups fired first?
You know, that's still under investigation. It's something that we have to talk to a lot of the witnesses, check for surveillance, and have our detectives go through all of that evidence. I mean, it's such a large scene. Again, this is a super traumatic scene for everybody involved. for all of the people that were out here that saw it happen, for anybody who works out here, for families who have a loved one out here. And we want to let people know that there are resources available, just like when the Westgate incident happened a few years ago. We do have resources available, victims assistance, so we want to make sure that people understand that we want to help the community as much as we can.
Obviously, there's going to be a point where the district attorney has to figure out where the charges belong to. So with that being said, how important is this process for investigators to collect as much evidence, to interview as many witnesses, so that you can give as much as a clear picture as you can to the authorities there?
It's super important, and that's why we have as many detectives out here as possible from different areas of the department, to ensure that we can do as extensive interviews, collect as much evidence, and just go through the crime scene as thoroughly as possible.
Do you expect to be out here throughout the night?
We do, just like Westgate a few years ago. We want to make sure that we are as thorough as possible. We collect as much evidence, and that takes time, especially with as large a scene as this. I mean, it's a shopping outlet, so there's going to be several different areas that we got to take a look at, and we want to make sure that we don't miss anything. No one, I don't believe anyone is technically in custody. We have 5 injured persons, so we have to determine who exactly were shooters. I don't have any information on that.
The extent of the injuries, we had heard at one point that the child may have been life-threatening.
So our first officers on scene, they were very affected by it. I mean, I don't know if they have children or not, but as you can imagine, seeing a small child being struck by gunfire, that's very traumatic. They did do CPR, but I can tell you that that child is stable now.
Will the outlets be open tomorrow?
I don't have information on the outlets. That's really a decision that probably is going to be up to them. But I know right now, while the investigation is ongoing, it just doesn't make sense to have shopping continue this night.
We don't know if it's a father, mother, child.
I don't have information on the relationship. Again, all those persons were transported for injuries, so it makes it difficult to do interviews until we can.
What you understand then, the victim that was shot, the male, he was also, that had a handgun, he initiated the, or was involved in the shooting?
He was involved in the shooting, so we know for sure that he, because he was with an adult female and a young child, he was the shooter in that group. We're still trying to ascertain who was involved in the second group of the 2 juveniles who showed up at the hospitals later.
Were any guns recovered?
I don't have that information.
Do you know what area of the outlets, like in front of what stores or inside?
I don't have the names of the stores. I just know that it occurred in the center of Tanger Outlets.
5 people were injured, but how many total were involved with this between the 2 parties?
We know that there was at least 2 guns involved.
Okay, guys, so this is going to be the only update we're going to do this evening. We are hoping to have a presser tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon. Please tell your assignment desk, late morning, early afternoon. We will not be answering anything at 6 o'clock in the morning. This is the only update we're going to be doing tonight, so we don't expect any changes. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they all got shot in this.
Nobody was stabbed.
Oh, there's 2 in here. I almost stole the mic.
I commandeered your mic stand, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just trying to figure out, I was like, is it yours? Is it us?